My name is Aeron Quilao, and we are going to discuss the Chapter 17, Designing and Managing Integrated Marketing Channels. The discussion questions are: number 1, what is marketing channel system and value network? Number 2, what work do channels perform? Number 3, how should channels be designed? Number 4, what decision do companies face in managing their channels? Number 5, how should companies integrate channels and manage channel conflict? Number 6, what are the key issues with e-commerce and m-commerce? Starting with the marketing channel, it was defined that a marketing channel is a set of interdependent organizations participating in the process of making product or service available for use or consumption. And the primary use of a marketing channel is to bridge the gap between the producer of goods to the consumer. And there are 4 types of marketing channel. Number 1 is direct selling, which is the marketing and selling of products is directly to the consumer. Number 2 is the selling through intermediaries. It is a third party or a middleman that offer intermediation services to both parties. Number 3 is the dual distribution, which is a wide variety of marketing arrangements by which the manufacturer use more than one channel simultaneously to reach the end user. For instance, franchising and retailing. Number 4 is the reverse channel. And the difference of a reverse channel from the other channel is that it can go from the consumer to the intermediaries to the beneficiary. Okay. The importance of channel. So the capability of a channel is that it can create more impact to the consumer than a advertising alone. The push strategy. It is a promotional strategy where business attempts to carry their product to the consumer. An example is that a business is selling merchandise directly to the consumer via showroom, and the manufacturer negotiate to the retailer to sell their products for them. On the other hand, the pull strategy is the opposite of a push strategy. Its goal is to get the customer to come to the business. So this includes mass media promotion. And the difference of so in general, the difference of a pull and push strategy is that pull strategy creates a brand loyalty that keeps the customers coming back, whereas the push strategy focuses more on short-term sales. Okay. Moreover, some company uses both push and pull strategy. These are the Coca-Cola, Nike, and Intel. Multi-channel marketing. It refers to the practice of interacting with customer using a combination of direct and indirect channel. Example are the websites, retail stores, internet, telemarketing, direct mail, Salesforce, and others. Value network. A value network is a set of connection between an organization or individual interacting with each other to the benefit of the entire group. The value network allows the member to buy and sell as well as to share or exchange information to each other. The role of marketing channels. A marketing channel plays a crucial role in transferring the ownership of goods to the point of production or manufacturer to the point of consumption. Channel function and flows. So the forward flow shows the transaction or the transaction starting from the business or the manufacturer to the consumer. This includes transportation of goods and services. The middle part or the middle flow is a transaction between the consumer and the manufacturer. So this includes information, negotiation, finance, and risk-taking of both parties. The backward flow is a transition or transaction starting from the consumer to the businesses because the consumer order and pay services and goods from the manufacturer or the business. Five marketing flow in marketing channel. This flow shows the process of how a customer gains the goods and products from the supplier, and also how the supplier earns money or income from the customer. It contains 5 marketing flow, which are physical flow that shows the physical possession from the supplier to the customer. Title flow, which is also called a ownership flow. Payment flow, which shows how the customer pays the supplier. Information flow shows individual who participate in the transaction. Promotion flow it shows the persuasive communication in the form of advertising. And channel level. A channel level refers to the intermediaries in the marketing distribution channel between the producer of goods to the consumer. Every channel level plays a role in making the goods available to the end consumer. And the number of channel levels between the producer and the consumer could be 0, 1, 2, and 3. The zero level channel is also called a direct marketing channel. It includes telemarketing, direct mail, and door-to-door. The one-level channel contains one selling intermediary, which is the retailing. The two-level channel contains two intermediary, which is a wholesaler and a retailer. The three-level channel contains three intermediary, which is wholesaler, jobber, and retailer. So this is the channel level of business to consumer. On the other hand, there is a there is called business to business channel level, wherein the difference is it contains a large sum of money compared to business to consumer. So that's why in business to business, it requires or includes representative. Channel design decision. So, to design a marketing channel system, a marketer need to analyze this component. So these are the customer needs and wants. For instance, a customer prefer fast delivery channel. A customer prefer greater assortment because more choices increase chances of finding what they need. Objectives and constraint. Channel design must take it into account the strengths and weaknesses of different types of intermediaries. And identifying and evaluate alternatives. So this includes the types of available business intermediary, the number of intermediary needed, the term and responsibility of each channel member. So in this slide, it shows that in every country, there is a different consumer, which means that their needs and wants are different from other country. It is because they have their own culture. There is a difference between their environment and in society.
Good afternoon, I'm Alcasid and I'm going to report the rest of the slides. So first is the channel service outputs. Channels produce 5 service outputs. So the first one is the spatial convenience. It is the degree to which the marketing channel makes it easy to customer to purchase the product. To put it in a more simple way, it means that the shopping time and effort contributed are interrelated with each other. Next is the delivery time or waiting. The average time that the customer wait for receipt of goods. Then third is the service backup. Add-on services provided by the channel. Then the fourth one is the product variety, the assortment provided by the marketing channel. To put it in a more simple way, the number and range of brands or products offered by a supplier. Then lastly is the lot size, the number of units the channel permits a typical customer to purchase on one occasion refers to the number of shares you buy in one transaction. So the next slide, objectives and constraints. So channel channel objective should be stated in terms of desired service level of target customers. For example, perishable products require more direct marketing to avoid delays and too much handling. Next is bulky products such as building materials and soft drinks require channels that minimize shipping distance and the amount of handling. Lastly is the products that require installations and regular checkups. Company owned or leased franchises. Uh, Next slide. Identifying channel alternative. A firm can choose from a wide variety for reaching customers. First is the sales force, complex products and transactions. Next is the internet, less expensive but not effective with complex products. Third, third is the distributors, can create sales but contact with customers is lost. Lastly, the manufacturer representatives reach to the different segments of customers and delivers the right product at a low cost. If fails, then leads to channel conflict and excessive cost. A channel alternative is described by three elements. So the first is the type of intermediaries, the number of intermediaries, and the terms and responsibilities of channel members. So for the number of intermediaries, a firm can decide on number of intermediaries to use each of to use at each level by using three strategies. First is the exclusive distribution, second is the selective distribution, and last is the intensive distribution. Now to explain the three strategies of number of intermediaries. First strategy is the exclusive distribution. Appropriate with the manufacturer wants to maintain a strict control over service level and outputs offered by resellers. It requires a closer partnership with intermediaries and using contribution of automobiles, earth movers, and etc. For example, is Gucci, the bags or the clothes or shoes. Then the next strategy is the selective distribution. It involves the use of more than a few but less than all of the intermediaries who are willing to carry a particular product. Then lastly is the intensive distribution. Goods and services are kept as many stores as possible. These strategies are generally used for perishable products such as snacks, soft drinks, newspapers, and etc. Intensive distribution increases product availability and service but encourages retailers to compete aggressively. Example, Titan watches and Fossil watches. So the next one to discuss about is the terms and responsibilities of channel members. Each channel members must be treated respectfully and must be given the opportunity to be profitable. There are four main policies. First one is that price policies. Second one is the condition of scales. The third is the territorial rights. Then lastly, the fourth one is the mutual service and responsibilities. For the next slide, evaluating the major alternatives. Each channel alternatives needs to be evaluated against economic control and adaptive criteria. For economic criteria, each channel will produce a different level of sales and cost. Next is the control and adaptive criteria. Using a sales agency poses a control problem. To develop a channel member must make it must make some degree of commitment to each other for a specified period of time lead to a decrease in the producer's ability to respond and adapt to a changing marketplace. For the next slide is the channel management decisions. After a company has chosen a channel alternative, individual intermediaries must be selected, trained, motivated, and evaluated. Channel arrangement must be modified over time. For selecting channel members, they should evaluate the first one is the number of years in business, the second one is other lines carried, the third one growth and profit records, and then for the fourth one financial strength. Fifth is the cooperativeness, and the last one is the service reputation. If the intermediaries are sales agents, producers should evaluate the first one is the number and character of other lines carried, size and quality of the sales force. If the intermediaries are department stores that want exclusive distribution, the producers should evaluate first the location, second is the future growth potential, and the third is the type of clientele. The next one is for training and motivating channel members. The company should provide training programs and to improve intermediaries' performance. The company must constantly communicate its view that the intermediaries are partners. Producers vary greatly in skill in managing distributors. Channel power can be defined as the ability to alter channel members' behavior. So the next is the manufacturers. Manufacturers can draw on the following types of power to elicit cooperation versus coercive power. The next one is reward power. The third one is the legitimate power. Fourth is expert power, and the fifth is the referent power. For the last one is the evaluating channel members. Producers must periodically evaluate intermediaries' performance against such standards as sales quota attainment, average inventory levels, customer delivery times, treatment of damage and loss of goods, and cooperation in promotional and training program. Underperformers need to counseled, retrained rather, motivated, or terminated. So modifying channel arrangement, that's the next slide. So modification becomes necessary when the distribution channel is not working as planned. So first is when consumer buying patterns change. The second one is when the market expands. Third is when new competition arises. Then fourth is when innovative distribution channels emerge. Then last one is and when the product moves into the later stages into the product life cycle. In competitive markets with low entry barriers, the optimal channel structure will inevitably change over time. The change could involve first is adding or dropping individual channel members. Second is adding or dropping particular market channels. Letter C, the last one is developing a total new way to sell goods. Next slide, channel integration and system. So distribution channel change, new wholesaling and retailing institution emerge, and new channel system evolve. So there are 3 categories, I think. First is vertical marketing system. One conventional marketing system compromises an independent producer or wholesalers and retailers. A vertical marketing system, VMS, by contrast, compromises the producer, wholesalers, and retailers acting as unified system. The channel captain owns the others, franchises them, or has so much power that they will cooperate. There are three types of VMS. One is corporate, two is administrative, and three is contractual. Next is the horizontal marketing system. Another channel development is the horizontal marketing system, in which two or more unrelated companies put together resources or programs to exploit an emerging marketing opportunity. Integrating multi-channel marketing system. Most companies have adopted multi-channel marketing. Then the last is the multi-channel marketing occurs when a single firm uses two or more marketing channels to reach one or more customer segments. So, advantages of it. First is increased market coverage. Second is lower channel cost. Third is more customized selling. Disadvantages. First is the new channels typically introduce conflict and control problems. Second is that two or more channels may end up competing for the same customer. Then the third one is the new channel may be more independent and make operation more difficult. So the next slide is about the graph, the hybrid grid. So Moriarty and Moran propose using the hybrid grid to plan the channel architecture. The first one is the grid shows several marketing channels, which is the rows. The second one is the several demand generation tasks, which is the column. Then lastly, the grid illustrates why using only one channel is not efficient. So the next slide is about conflict cooperation and competition. Channel coordination occurs when channel members are brought together to advance the goal of the channel as opposed to their own potential incompatible goals. So next is the channel conflict is generated when one channel number's actions prevents the channel from achieving its goal. Same channel conflict, which is first is the vertical channel conflict, means conflict between different levels within the same channel. Second one is the horizontal channel conflict, involves conflict between members at the same level within the channel. Then the third one is the multi-channel conflict, exists when there are two or more channels that sell to the same market. Members of one channel get a lower price based on a larger volume purchases or work with a lower margin. Lastly is the managing channel conflict. So the challenge is not to eliminate conflict but to manage it better. There are several mechanisms for effective conflict management. One is the adoption of subordinate goals. Channel members come to an agreement on a fundamental goal that they are jointly seeking. Much can be accomplished by encouraging joint membership in and between the trade associations. When conflict is chronic or acute, the parties may have to resort to diplomacy, mediation, arbitration, and lawsuits. So e-commerce marketing practices. E-business describes the use of electronic means and platforms to conduct a company's business. E-commerce means that the company offers to transact or facilitate the selling of products and service online. E-purchasing means companies decide to purchase goods, services, and information from online suppliers. E-marketing describes company efforts to communicate, promote, and sell its products and service online. We can distinguish between pure-click companies and brick-and-click companies. So for pure-click companies, there are several kinds of pure-click companies. First, search engines. Second, internet service providers. Third, commerce sites. Fourth one is the transaction sites. Fifth, content sites. And then sixth is the enabler sites. So companies must set up and operate their e-commerce websites carefully. Customer service is critical. Consumer surveys suggest that most significant inhibitors of online shopping are absence of first is the pleasurable experience. Second is the social interaction, and the third one is personal consultation. So for brick and click companies, adding an e-commerce channel creates the threat of backlash from retailers, brokers, agents, and other intermediaries. There are at least three strategies for trying to gain acceptance from intermediaries. First is offer different brands of products on the internet. Second is offer the offline partners higher commissions to cushion the negative impact on sales. Third is take orders on the websites but have retailers deliver and collect payment. Some pure or predominantly online companies have invested in brick and mortar sites. Ultimately, and ultimately companies may need to decide whether to drop some or all of the retailers and go the rest. Last, M-commerce. M for mobile, channels and media can keep consumers connected and interacting with a brand throughout their day-to-day lives. However, mobile marketing and the fact that a company can potentially pinpoint a customer or employee's location with GPS technologies also raises privacy issues. That's all for my report. Thank you.